Okay, so I kind of get where David Leitch was coming from with this movie. I mean, look, you have Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. You have Ryan Gosling is easily one of the hottest stars, hottest figuratively and literally, one of the hottest stars in Hollywood right now. And you have Emily Blunt, just an insane talent. And you have a completely crazy supporting cast with Aaron Taylor Johnson, Winston Duke, Stephanie Hugh, Hannah Waddingham. I mean, you have a great plethora of cast members right there, plus Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. So I can understand why David Leitch would probably think to himself, I have all these talented cast members. Maybe I really don't need to make a plot that actually makes sense or that the audience can resonate with, because I can just rely on the talent of my actors here and we can make a salvageable movie, or at least damn near good or entertainable movie. Well, surprisingly, that doesn't always work out the way we think it is going to work out. Isn't that right, David? This is The Fall Guy. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Hannah Waddingham, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and it was directed by David Leitch. And our story follows a stuntman who, after a tragic accident, decides to go into retirement, but then is brought out of retirement in about maybe like a year's time due to the fact that the woman of his dreams, who is now getting the chance to direct a very big blockbuster movie, needs his help because basically the star of the movie is missing for whatever reason, and he was his former stuntman, so they need him to come in, replace him for a little bit, do some stunts, do some big shots, and also at the same time they need him to find the star of the movie and what happened to Tom Ryder. That is the best way I can explain that. That is the only way I need to explain that plot, because well, I'll talk more about the plot later. But look, just to get into it, guys, what I liked about the movie. The only thing that I liked about this movie is Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt's chemistry. And Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt themselves. They are just terrific. It took me, I will admit, it took me a second to kind of get into the character that Ryan Gosling was playing here. I was trying to figure out like what essentially he was really going for, but once we kind of get into the gist of, him and Emily Blunt's chemistry and their dynamic together, you really start to see who this guy really is, and it's fun. It's just fun as hell, funny as hell. Ryan Gosling, like, when is Ryan Gosling ever truly going to do a bad job with his character work? He is a great character actor. He is someone who just has great comedic timing. Him and Emily Blunt work with each other, bounce off of each other so well. It's just so good. I absolutely enjoyed their dynamic. It was really good. Their romantic chemistry, their slow-mo one-liners to each other, their quick whips, they have great chemistry with each other. And I will shout out this one part of the film before, because I really want to get to what I did not like about this movie whatsoever, which is quite a bit. I was thoroughly disappointed. But before I get into all that, there's one thing that I did truly enjoy that David Leitch did, the director. He did there's this scene where they talk about a split screen and is it corny? How should it be used? Blah, blah, blah. I thought that was genius. I thought that was a great way to show the split screen, a great way to show Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling's chemistry together, just how great it is, how natural it is. That was one of the best parts of the movie for me. Like I said, literally anything that has to do with me liking this movie has to do with straight and strictly Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt, by the way, just so I can shout her out too. She is just, wow. Emily Blunt is just a joy to watch on screen. She is so much fun, so charming. Can't help but fall for that goddamn accent every time she talks. She's just a gem. But now on to what I didn't like about this movie, and what honestly just thoroughly disappointed me, because I had really high hopes for this movie. Now, I'll say this. When I saw the first trailer for this movie, one thing that I was truly worried about in this film had nothing to do with Ryan Gosling or Emily Blunt. I was worried about the tone of this movie and what they were specifically going for. Because when it comes to rom-coms, there's such a wide range of, romance / comedy blending you could go for. And I was really trying to figure out what they were truly going for in that first trailer, and the movie kind of worried me because I thought it would never really find its footing. Then the second trailer came out, and I felt a little more comfortable because the song choice was a lot better, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of just a big kind of romantic gesture kind of guy who essentially just really wants to win over the woman of his dreams, and he's a stuntman, so he does everything in the coolest way possible. But I was right about that first trailer, because this movie is truly all over the place with the tone. This movie is truly all over. Well, I can't say it's all over the place with the plot. The plot is just so dull and so vanilla and just so very predictable, and just you can just tell there's not a lot of effort put into this story at all, and the movie just never truly finds its footing whatsoever, and that is all on David Leitch. That is all on David Leitch. It was, honestly, you want to know what it was like? It was like watching Bullet Train again. And I know I got that, you got your Bullet Train cult. I'm going to call you guys a cult because you guys just popped up out of nowhere. It took like everybody, not a lot of people saw it in theaters. So normally when stuff hits streaming, that's when more people see it. And once it hit streaming, a bunch of people started popping out of nowhere saying how much it was a good movie, how much it got unwanted hate. No, Bullet Train was not a good movie to me whatsoever. I'm glad that cult exists because there are people out there that enjoy Bullet Train. Awesome. Me, no. I hate Bullet Train. It is such a bad movie because it literally is the reflection of this film here. The plot, the tone is all over the place, and they just truly could never find its footing for what they wanted this movie to be. Same with Bullet Train. Now, people in I'm going to bring up characters from Bullet Train because this character is also in this movie. Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm going to bring up his character in both films here because he just plays a moronic version of himself. Now, I'll admit, in this film, in The Fall Guy, he does play a very whiny, top talented actor. So, for the most part, he is playing that role very well. But then once you truly get into the gist of what the plot is and what his role is in all of this, yeah, he truly brings no value to this movie whatsoever. His character truly brings no value to this movie whatsoever, and honestly, Aaron Taylor Johnson deserves better. I honestly hope Craven just does not come out, because Aaron Taylor Johnson is much better than what he's been producing as of late. The only recent projects that are coming to my mind right now are Bullet Train, The Fall Guy, and Craven. I haven't even seen Craven, but I don't think it's going to be good whatsoever. He's better than that. Aaron Taylor Johnson is a very good actor, and I think he should just start choosing better projects, because clearly David Leitch projects are not the ones for him. He is completely wasting his time. Now, the Tangerine Lemon dynamic, people are going to absolutely chastise me for that. They have good moments, and there are not a lot of them, but truly, the whole Tangerine and Lemon thing from Bullet Train, they're just a bunch of babbling idiots to me. For me, they just turned Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson into a bunch of babbling idiots. And in this movie here, Aaron Taylor Johnson is yet again a babbling idiot. But like I said, he's playing a whiny, top talented actor. So, that kind of fits what that role is calling for. And he does play it very well. But like I said, just once you get into the plot and truly what is going on in this film and his role and everything, it's just a waste. It's just a complete waste of time as far as I'm concerned. And on top of that, this stacked cast that they have, Hannah Waddingham, Winston Duke, Stephanie Hugh, they are all wasted as well. Hannah Waddingham is better than this. Hannah Waddingham, it's truly not their fault at all. But this movie was just so predictable plot-wise. I'm telling you, there was no effort put into this story whatsoever, but just the fact that we are going to make a love letter to stuntmen, which I will address in a minute, because stuntmen do definitely deserve a lot more praise than what we have given them. I really do appreciate the stuntmen for everything you guys do in movies, because I could never do anything like that whatsoever. And I know for a fact that you guys are so underappreciated, and you are the unsung heroes on movie sets, you and the janitors. Janitors get their love too. But they were strictly relying on Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt's romantic chemistry to get them through this entire thing, because the plot is so boring and so predictable and so nonsensical. Just in the middle of this thing, it just completely feels like we are dragging this out. It feels like we truly had no story we could truly bring out to fully flesh out this entire thing. Like, it was just truly relying on Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt the whole time, And unfortunately, I mean, not even unfortunately, surprisingly, because like I said, that's not the worst idea to think that Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt can backpack your entire movie to being somewhat not. I'm not gonna say somewhat decent because it's okay. It's pretty mid, but it's okay to being somewhat. You would rely on them to backpack you to make at least make your movie good. So surprisingly, that just doesn't work because when the story just doesn't work, well, neither does anything else. But look, like I said, the tone of this movie too is just all over the place. When it doesn't have to do with strictly romance, the romantic part, yeah, the whole part where we're trying to find out what happened to Tom Ryder, where Tom Ryder is, that really just goes all over the place. Winston Duke, loved Winston Duke in this movie. He's a lot of fun. I liked his character. I actually loved his character. He has this very good dynamic back and forth with Ryan Gosling where they quote movie quotes to each other. And also there's this really cool scene where he's fighting bad guys and he's literally announcing the stunts that he's doing from each movie. It was pretty dope. It's pretty badass. I love movie guys like that. I love people that are so into their movies that everything becomes just a movie reference. That's Winston Duke's character. He was great. Stephanie Hugh was completely wasted. I don't know if David Leitch has not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know if he has seen Joyride. That woman deserves more than 10 minutes of screen time, which I think she didn't even get that. Stephanie Hugh maybe got like 5 to 6 minutes of screen time. She deserves much more than that. This movie could have been much better, could have been much bigger. Oh, I don't know if I completely addressed Hannah Waddingham. I did. I remember saying that she deserves better and she needs to do better, but... And I'm sorry, she deserves better. She doesn't need to do better because Hannah Waddingham is flawless. She's absolutely fantastic. I blame all of this on David Leitch, just having truly no sense of what he wanted to do with this movie aside from making a love letter to stuntmen and having Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt just backpack the entire movie with their googly eyes at each other, which, like I said, that is what I liked about the movie. I actually love that about the movie. Their chemistry is very good, but everything else in the movie falls completely flat, and it was just so unfortunately boring at times. Now, let me address the stuntmen, because the stuntmen, like I said, are the unsung heroes of movies or movie sets. They are the people that we do not get to see their faces at all. They get no justice, but they do the coolest shit that we can only dream of doing, and they get little to no credit about it, except for in the credits when the credits roll. And even then, who's sticking around to see who the stuntmen are? It's sad to say, but who's sticking around to see who the stuntmen are? But this was a great testament to stuntmen, in a sense. Not necessarily a testament to movie lovers, but this was a great testament to the stuntmen and just how much they have to go through. All the stunts that Ryan Gosling did in this movie were really cool. They were really cool, and they did a good job of building the tension up and just how much they truly have to go through, and if they have to keep doing the takes over and over and over and over. So, like, if they're getting set on fire, they literally have to get set on fire repeatedly. I understand that. I understand that now, but it's crazy. It's absolutely insane that they have to continue to do those takes just in case they get too much of their face, too much of something in the shot that they don't need, and they have to keep doing it over. Stuntmen go through hell. So this was a great love letter to stuntmen. Not that great of a love letter to movie fans, but it is what it is. Look, overall, guys, The Fall Guy was a huge disappointment for me. It was something I was definitely looking forward to. I am a huge rom-com guy, and I was expecting this movie to be one of those films that truly breathed life back into the rom-com genre, just because I feel like we're lacking somewhat of some great rom-coms as of late. I mean, that rom-com era is always pretty shaky, goes up and down there. I mean, Rye Lane came out last year, so always go see that. Always go do that. But I just felt like this movie was going to truly bring life back into the whole romantic comedy, summer blockbuster type thing. And we were going to get this summer kicked off right. But I guess we're going to have to wait next week for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes to do so, because this one just did not do it for me. And for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give The Fall Guy, a 2.75 out of 5 stars. Okay, so The Fall Guy, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. I really do appreciate you for watching. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.